so this is actually brand new. This whole museum is brand new, correct?
Yep, so we've just been open for a couple months, so we're really excited to finally be open to the public. We've been working on it for about 3 years, so it's exciting to finally be able to share it with everyone. So we have 2 galleries in there. We've got our Jim Henson Collection Gallery and our Global Collection Gallery. So our Global Collection Gallery contains puppets from all over the world. We have stuff from Europe, Asia, Africa, the United States, South America. So it really gives you a full look into the history and art form of puppetry.
Kelsey, let's head on inside and check out the Global Collection.
Great.
So we are here at the Coraline display, and I'm with Kelsey. Kelsey, now this is stop motion animation. Now how is that related to the Puppetry Arts?
Yeah, so here at the Center for Puppetry Arts, we consider any inanimate object that you can bring to life puppetry.
Okay.
So here, these pieces are brought to life frame by frame. So for every single frame, you'd move each object slightly, and then get that shot, and then once you string it all together, it creates the full motion picture.
Wow, that is very meticulous. Do you know like how long it takes to make an entire movie by chance?
Very long. I mean, several hours or several hundreds of hours.
Wow.
So lots of time.
All right, so Kelsey, I recognize these 2 characters. This is from Tim Burton's The Corpse Bride, correct?
Yes. So we have Victor Van Dort here. That was Johnny Depp's character. And then we have The Corpse Bride.
Right, and then over here, excuse my ignorance, but I know Pokey and Gumby, but I do not know these 2 characters right here on my right. Tell me more about these characters.
Yeah, these guys were actually created by Lou Bunnan, who was a stop motion puppeteer in the kind of mid 20th century. So these guys were actually from the late 40s, early 50s, and were used in a stop motion production he did of Alice in Wonderland.
Okay, now I grew up with Pokey and Gumby. Are these replicas or the actual puppets?
These were the actual puppets, so all of these pieces were performed in the actual films.
Oh, wow.
So
So here we are standing in front of a large television set. So Kelsey, I assume these characters were on TV then?
yes, right here we're featuring some of our kind of mid-century puppets. So television really started to pick up in the mid-1950s, and puppets were right there with it.
Now also we actually have a local Atlanta native in here. Tell us about him.
Yeah, so Woody Willow right there, a little cowboy in the back with the red hat. He was used in WSB's Woody Willow show. He was made by Don and Ruth Gilpin. The show started in 1948 in Atlanta and was very popular throughout the 1950s. It was actually kind of similar to a Howdy Doody type show, but he actually exceeded in popularity during the time among local audiences. So definitely a kid favorite.
So Kelsey, tell me about this next display. We have Ginger Rogers, Fred Astaire, and Madam.
Yeah, so Wayland Flowers Madam is one of our more famous puppets in the collection. She was used in the Hollywood Squares, lots of shows, big Vegas show acts. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers were also used in cabaret acts. So part of what we like to talk about here is that puppets aren't just for kids, they're for adults as well.
So here we are inside the Jim Henson collection. So Kelsey, tell me a little bit more about this collection.
Here in the side of the museum, we're featuring about 75 puppets from our Jim Henson collection. So overall, we have over 500 pieces and puppets and props from Jim Henson's career. So here we get to really highlight them.
Now, the Jim Henson collection here at the Center for Puppetry Arts, this is a permanent collection, is that correct?
Yeah, so this is one of our new permanent galleries. We're going to continue to rotate objects in every 6 months or so that you'll always see something new when you come in. Here we're actually in the second part of the gallery, which is the office space, which gives you a really good look into kind of Jim Henson's, what his workspace would look like. And we also try to highlight here some of the things that you might not know about Jim Henson, like his independent film work and animation work.
All right, we just left Jim Henson's desk, and here we are on Sesame Street, and I have a feeling somebody's staring at us right now.
So right here we've got Big Bird here. He's with his friend Little Bird. So Big Bird is obviously one of the bigger pieces we have in the collection here. He's been puppeteered by Carol Spinney, the same puppeteer, since 1969.
Wow, so the
a
same
long time.
person has been doing Big Bird since 1969.
Yep.
We know about Big Bird. Tell us about this little guy.
Yeah, so this is Little Bird right here. He was first used in Easy Bake Oven commercials. My favorite kind of fun fact about him is that Fran Brill, his puppeteer, was the first woman puppeteer that Jim Henson hired that wasn't his wife.
All right, so here we are on an actual set.
Yes, so here's our TV studio set up here. So this is one of our more interactive spaces of the gallery, so you can try your hand at being a Muppeteer.
A Muppeteer? What's the difference between a Muppeteer and a puppeteer?
So all Muppets are puppets, but not all puppets are Muppets. So Muppeteer is usually just a specific term for Henson puppeteers.
Well, should we try our hand, Kelsey?
Absolutely.
All right, I've always wanted to be a monkey.
Hello, Princess Kelsey. Your hair is so beautiful.
Oh, we're supposed to be out of the shot. So here we are with Kermit the Frog. Pretty good impression, huh?
Yeah.
Anyways, we are here with Kermit the Frog amongst a bunch of Jim Henson characters. Tell me more about this room.
Yeah, so we're currently in the Muppet Show gallery, so everything here is featured from Jim Henson's Muppet Show. We have a lot of fan favorites here. We have Fozzie Bear, Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, among some lesser-known characters as well. We also have some pieces from Muppet Treasure Island on display, which is great because the Muppet Show started as a show but was also brought out into several movies and has obviously been revitalized today with the Muppet Show on ABC.
Yeah, this is great, and I think one of your favorite characters is in this room.
He is. So Robin the Frog, he's Kermit's nephew, is actually right behind us.
All right, one more time. Ready?
Kermit the Frog here.
No? All right. I quit. So we just left the Muppets where we saw Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, some very familiar characters, but now we're in an area that I don't necessarily recognize this character. It doesn't look like a normal Muppet.
Yeah, so we're in our fantasy gallery right now, and we are really featuring puppets from The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth in here, which was two feature-length films that Jim Henson did. And we like to call these kind of the fantasy films because it really is this departure from the types of characters that you see in The Muppet Show and Sesame Street. So if you can just tell by looking at Jen here from The Dark Crystal, just different materials used, different technology used. So in the fantasy films, you really start to see Jim Henson incorporating the use of animatronics and early robotics into these puppets. He was a really, really creative person and was really awesome at using technology for creative purposes.
So now that we've gone through this whole Jim Henson collection, can you tell me a little bit about his legacy?
Yeah, so Jim Henson's legacy lives on in several different ways. So one, the Jim Henson Company is still operating and running today and continues to do all sorts of different things with technology to be innovative in the world of puppetry. You also have the Sesame Workshop that continues to own and operate Sesame Street, which is still running not only in the United States but all over the world. And the Muppets are now owned by the Disney Company. So the ABC's The Muppets has been premiering and successful. So they've been also kind of seeing a resurgence.
Did you just sit on my phone? No.
Well, we want to thank you for taking us on this tour of the Jim Henson collection, also of the Center for Puppetry Arts in the global collection. We've enjoyed it. I hope everybody out there has enjoyed it as well. Any final thoughts about coming to visit the Center for Puppetry Arts?
Yeah, I'm just pleased come and check us out. We have a lot going on and always something new, so.
Come on.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Come this way, you will.
Okay, I'll stop.